I think we don't need this here. This thing in here. This is the that's just to create some movement. Okay, the two movements, one is the movement of what I would call ascent, and the other is the movement of descent. Now, traditional Theravada teaching, or Buddhist teaching in general, but maybe especially in early Buddhism, whatever school, places the emphasis on the movement of ascent, because that is, Buddhism begins with human beings in the human condition, subject to birth, old age, sickness, death, bound up by the defilements. And so the initial call, so to speak, is to get out of the misery of samsara, to realize the ultimate bliss and freedom, and ultimate bliss, freedom, wisdom of nirvana. And so we do this by developing the factors of the 37 factors of enlightenment, especially the 4 foundations of mindfulness through right effort, to develop samadhi, and then panya, wisdom, to reach the paramatta, the final goal, the supreme goal. But now what strikes me always as a very interesting event in the life of the Buddha, as we see it recorded in Majjhima Nikaya 26 and some other sources, when the Buddha, after his enlightenment, he's sitting in the vicinity of the Bodhi tree, he considers, shall I go out and teach? Then too much trouble, I won't do this. I can't do this. So this, the way I see it, is almost symbolically representing the culmination of the movement of ascent. He's risen up to the very highest level, completed it, and now completely detached from the world. But then the world is not going to let the Buddha slip off into Nibbana. So Brahma comes as representing, you could say, the spokesman for the beings of the world, and kneels before the Buddha and says, please, O enlightened one, don't abandon sentient beings. There are those who will understand. And so then the Buddha looks out at the world with his vision, sees indeed that there are those who can understand, and then decides, open to them are the doors to the deathless. I will go forth and beat the drum of Dhamma. Let those who have faith listen. So that, to my mind, symbolizes, in early Buddhism, the movement of descent. And we see this extended more widely in early Buddhism, applied to the Sangha as a whole. On the one hand, the Buddha's instruction is, strive on with diligence, O monks. Don't be lazy, work for the goal, put in your full effort, energy, diligence, vigilance, apply your mind and strive. So that is the encouragement for the movement of ascent. But also the Buddha says, go ye forth, O monks, and teach the Dhamma, which is good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end. Let not two go one way, but he sends the monks out to teach the Dhamma. And then this becomes, in a sense, the twofold obligation of the Sangha, and maybe even of the Buddhist community through the ages. One is to strive for the goal of ascent, but also not to abandon other beings, especially other human beings, but to preserve the Dhamma, to teach, to spread it. Okay, now this is going against the traditional background where what is the value is the Dhamma as the path to liberation, to be both realized and propagated. But now against this model of spirituality, one could still apply this twofold scheme of ascent and descent. And we don't have to think of it that, this is my own opinion, the way I see it, that we lay aside completely any concern with descent until we've completed the movement of ascent. At the outset, we have to usually give attention, most attention, to the movement of ascent, to our own spiritual development. And so when we become involved, especially those of us who don't come from a traditional Buddhist background, when we become interested in Buddhism, mainly what interests us is the practice of meditation in order to gain some deep insights and to free the heart, free the mind, and gain some wisdom and inner joy, inner peace, inner contentment. But as we're going along, at certain points in our own lives, I think just about everybody here has experienced this, we also come to feel, I should be doing something to help others. And then this is something we undertake according to our own both capacity, inclinations, interests, or our sense of calling. If I might use the image that Katrine gave me the other day, it's a little bit like one is swimming across a river in order to get to the other shore. And as one is going across, one might hear other people, some voices crying, and then one looks around, and there are something on the shore there that one has left. And one looks back, and it's other people, maybe other people that one knows, people that one doesn't know, who are crying and saying, help me, help me. And so then we have to find, in what way can I help the others? It can be based on one's personal ability, or also there's the advice my friend Andrew Harvey gives, that is, he says, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, sit down, make your mind peaceful, calm, and collected, then consider the different problems in the world and find what is it that breaks your heart. When you find that what breaks your heart, that is what is calling you. That is your mission or vocation.
How, in the face of all that you've just been talking about and the dire situation that we're in terms of reality, the planet, not the denial, the culture of denial that we have is so thick that, when you actually perceive the